History Museum of Armenia, the Silver Goblet of Karashamb. Here, in the heart of Yerevan, within the walls of the History Museum of Armenia, our nation's oldest treasures are kept. Ornaments and statues that had lain in ancient tombs for several millennia. Wonderfully preserved wooden funerary chariots that had carried tribal chiefs on their last journey. Phallic symbols carved by ancient masons. Cuneiform inscriptions that record important events from the Urartu period. The headless marble statue of the goddess Aphrodite found in Artashat. The bronze head of the goddess Anahit, donated by colleagues from the British Museum. In fact, this is the only copy of the piece of the ancient statue discovered in the mid-19th century by a villager near the site of the ancient city of Satala, the present-day village of Sadak in northeastern Turkey. Behind the goddess, a golden wreath is kept that once crowned the heads of winners of the Olympic Games, the great poets and orators of the ancient world. A rare exhibit is kept in the Archaeology Hall on the third floor of the museum. It is a shoe, the work of a Copper Age cobbler who established the shoemaking tradition in Armenia about 6,000 years ago. However, we are interested in quite another artifact, the one that tells in great detail about the killer who organized a feast over his dead brother's body. The one that tells how one can be imprisoned in the afterlife during ancient times for killing a cloven-hoofed animal. That is the Silver Goblet of Karashamb. The goblet was found at the base of Mount Ara in the fall of 1987 in the burial mound of a tribal leader, amongst the remains of sacrificed animals, weapons, and insignia of power by the well-known archaeologist and politician Vahan Hovhannisyan. The goblet has very few analogues in ancient Turetics. The elegant, richly ornamented cup, made from a thin single sheet of pure silver, weighs 219 grams. At the beginning of the 2nd millennium BC, they used to fill this precious utensil to the brim with wine before serving it to the leader. Researchers believe that the goblet was created to commemorate a victory in a fratricidal war, the history of which is depicted on its 6 relief friezes. It all started with the killing of a boar. The hunter takes aim at a boar that has already been attacked by a lion and a leopard, intending to strike the fatal blow. Thus, killing a sacred animal led to the start of a fratricidal war. The headless bodies of soldiers with wolf tails who lost the battle are drawn beside a goat being mauled by a lion, the symbol of the winning side. On the right of Anzu, the lion-headed eagle linked to the Sumerian Akkadian deities of war and the underworld. A spearman deals a fatal blow to the enemy leader. Severed by an executioner, the heads of the leader's tribesmen are heaped next to a pile of weapons collected from the battlefield. Above the frieze with battle scenes, the master engraver has incised the royal feast. With his right hand, the leader brings a cup of wine to his mouth. A second cup stands on a table beside him, and a third is being taken by a servant from a table laden with food. 3 priests bring a deer to a ritual vessel. The crescent moon is drawn under its belly. The king's peace is being guarded by his spearmen. Their enemies were armed with swords. Types of swords and the ornaments on their sheaths resemble the daggers common in Armenian culture of the Bronze Age. Although the figures on the goblet are no more than 3 centimeters in size, the Bronze Age master engraver has illustrated them with the smallest details. Hair on the lion's manes, human fingers and animal paws, lions' tufted tails, and spots on leopard skins. Not a single detail was missed by the brilliant engraver who created the silver Goblet of Karashamb, the jewel of the best history museum in the country, a masterpiece of ancient Tresaures that the largest museums of the world are lining up to exhibit.